Hi, everybody. So this is another one of my books that I love videos. So today I am going to be telling you a book that I do not own. It is a library book. Dun, 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 dun. Oh, wait, you can't see that because of the reflection. See, they have this lovely cover that helps to protect the book jacket on the cover on. So it's a cover for the cover. For the cover. Yeah, which is kind of weird, but it helps it stay nice. So this book is Fighting Words. Whew, it's really good. But it's also challenging, not in its vocabulary or sentence structure or anything like that. Not like, old-fashioned classic lit. This isn't like, Pride and Prejudice or Moby Dick or anything like that. However, the narrator is a 10-year-old kid in foster care, and she and her sister have been placed together. Her sister is older, she's 16, and they've been placed together. And the reason that they're in foster care is because of abuse. So one of the things that the narrator says early on is that she says, I am 10 years old. This is after the first break. I am 10 years old. I'm going to tell you the whole story. Some parts are hard, so I'll leave those for later. I'll start with the easy stuff. And in the first chapter, she talks about moving to a new school, again, because now they're in foster care, but that they've been sort of bumped through some emergency placement. And so she's gone to a couple of new schools recently and hasn't always gotten along with everybody. At this school where she's supposedly going to stay for a while, her first assignment is to make a family tree. And that goes over about as well as you might expect. And the chapter ends with her saying, we are still on the easy parts of this story. And I finished the chapter. I was actually reading this with my students while we all had independent books to read. And so I had chosen this. This was my book that I was reading. And so we finished up independent reading time, and I told them to, log their reading. And while they were doing that, I said, I want to talk to you a little bit about the fact that it's okay not to finish a book. Like, especially when it's a book like you've chosen. Like, I'm telling you, you pick the book and you read some of it. And, since you will have to read a book of your choice this semester, don't force yourself to read it if you hate it. And then 2 weeks before the end of the semester say, Ms. Cole, I want to change my book, because then you've sort of worked yourself into a corner. But, at the end of chapter 1, I'm not sure if I'm going to make it through this thing because of sort of what I just told you. I said, I've just read the first chapter and it's rough. I don't know if I'm going to be comfortable reading the rest of this. So my students, of course, now want to know exactly what it is that Mrs. Cole doesn't want to read. And so I said, all right, you guys are still working on, getting logged into Goodreads and stuff. You can take some time, finish that up. And I'll read you just the first chapter. There's, nothing that's going to get me fired in it. But it'll give you an idea of why I have concerns about whether I'm going to be okay with reading the rest of this book. So I read them the first chapter. And, I'm just reading it, not really acting it out. But at the same time, I'm reading it with meaning, with intention. And I got through, and as I'm reading, I'm looking up, making sure they're doing what they're supposed to be doing. And I was surprised at the number of them who were just watching. Like, they'd closed their Chromebooks, they were done with what they were supposed to do, but they weren't getting their phones out or anything like that. Or staring off into space and daydreaming. And that really struck me. And when I finished the first chapter with that line, there was this beat, and then somebody piped up with, Miss Cole, you have to read the rest of that book to us. And I was like, I don't know if I can. I want to keep my job. I don't want to get fired. So I said, I'll see what I can do. And that block was right before my planning period. So again, not a challenging read, fast read. And I just blew through the rest of the book during planning and after, into lunch, after school, all that. And then I went to find the librarian. I said, So there's this book. As it happened, the principal was in there with the librarian, so I got to talk to both of them. So I was like, here's my plan. As these students are working on something else, I will be able to keep an eye on them, walk around the classroom. Haha. At the time, I could walk around the classroom. This was before I'd broken my leg. And, ensure that they're doing what they're supposed to be doing. And I can read to them while they're working. And I can, sort of check in on how they're doing, how they're progressing, that kind of thing. And I will let them know that this is material that may make some people uncomfortable. You may know somebody who has gone through some of this, and that's hard because especially at your age, I mean, even for me, I can't just make it better. And that as a teacher, it's so hard. You can't fix things. I mean, even when students are just struggling with their schoolwork and they just don't want to engage, I'm just like, I know that you are capable of this and you are prioritizing other things for whatever reason. And you don't have confidence in yourself. I know you can do this. And you don't think you can, or you think it's you're going to try and you're going to get a bad grade anyway, so why bother? And that alone is hard for me. And this is so much worse than that. And you guys are students, and again, fictional characters, but you may have seen some of this happen to people that you know, or seen people that you know who've gone through things that you think might have been like this. And I mean, I know we've got students who are in or who have been through foster care, and it's just. So I tell them, you don't have to listen. You can put earbuds in. You can just ignore me. You do need to be doing your work, even if you are listening. And I would, read to them for about 10 minutes a class period. It was interesting to see the number of them who would finish their classwork so that they could stay focused and listen. Focused on the book. That was, it got me thinking about the value of being read to, even when you're capable of reading for yourself. There is there's a connection, and you don't get this with audiobooks. It's not the same as having a person read something to you, either that you've asked for or that they think that they want to share with you. So I'm actually, that's got me started looking into journal articles and scholarly articles and studies that have been published on research on teachers, specifically teachers reading to students, specifically at the high school level. That's been really hard to find. I do have to send this back to the library, which is why I'm sort of doing this now. I don't think I'm going to purchase a copy, but I have it on my Goodreads list. And I talked to the librarian about the possibility of getting a copy. I'm feeling ambivalent about just putting it in students' hands because, I feel like there needs to be like a sticker placed several times throughout the books. By the way, if you want to talk to somebody about this, please, here are some resources at our school. There are people who can help you with this. If you or someone you know has gone through this, has had anything like this happen, please, 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 please talk to someone. And the book is about that, about the importance of, like Della says, of telling the story, of sharing the story, of not just trying to deal with it on your own. With that said, again, this is Fighting Words by Kimberly Brubaker Bradley. And if this is something that you or someone you know has struggled with, please tell someone. Please, please, please. Doesn't matter how old you are. Develop those support networks. It's so important. Develop support networks anyway. Talk to somebody. Make those connections. And that's really why I wanted to talk about this book, is because it's about the importance of making connections. And you see that not only in the story, but I experienced that as well through reading it to my students. There is something about shared reading that seems meaningful in a way that reading by yourself isn't. Not that I'm against reading by yourself. I like it. And, and book talks do some of that, but it's not quite the same. So I'm going to look into the possibility of, group reading or shared reading among adults, or, sort of feeling out the possibility of reading to my students in shorter works where I can kind of get away with it. I did a video about the potential benefits of reading out loud to students. So I really want to explore more of that. And if I can't find more research about teachers at the high school level reading to their students to enhance an appreciation for the work, I might have to see if I can either convince somebody to do it or just do it myself and go from there. I don't know. I guess we'll find out. Anyway, thanks so much for listening. My Christmas shirt, I am vaccinated and boosted. I'm also thankful for science in a non-pointy way because I just got my my 6-week checkup for my broken leg, and I got told that I can walk. I'm so excited about that. I have a cane that I got from a friend. So I'm really looking forward to getting better and staying in touch with you guys and hoping that things get better in 2022. Fingers crossed. Hey, don't forget, leave me a comment. It's right there. Just tell me, you suck, or I really have no confidence about 2020, whatever. Tell me how your day's going. Bye.